Hello. Online students, can you hear me? Your mains. Yes or no? Right. So after that, about 1,000 people will be called for interview. Okay. After that, around 350 people will get selected. But don't be happy with that 350, because if you are not going to get into good service, group A service, most of you will be attending Sunday Manthan 3 years after now also. You understood? That's the fact. So there is around 70 group A post or whatever, 40 AC post, exact number leave that. So only those guys will be happy in their service. Because I know it, once you enter the service, if you are belonging to group B service, or if you are not happy with what you have got, you will be writing the exam again, or you will not be happy the entire life, because you will have lot of pressure as you go lower in the bureaucratic system. I have many students who have cleared last year, who are all giving the exam even this year, because they have realized once they have entered the service that being in group B will be available for you. Make sure you grab that. You may be really good in what you are doing, in your preparation, etc. But if one more person is better than you, you will lose out. So you can't leave any stone unturned. Is that understood? Even if the exam gets postponed, sit and give one more 10-12 hours every day. Is that understood? Just because it's getting postponed, many are relaxing. It's you are just pushing yourself for another 3 years. That's all. I mean, you are delaying your success by another 3 years. Don't make this mistake. And I don't want to see you all after 3 years attending another Sunday Manthan session. Is that okay, guys? Right. So with that fear and with that motivation, hopefully I motivated you guys, we'll start with today's class. Before I start with today's class, a little bit correction from the previous class that I had done. So PVTG, I happen to mention 5 PVTG. Please make the correction. Only 2 PVTGs are recognized in Karnataka. Okay. So whatever topic that I had discussed in the previous topic, Jenu Kuruba and Koraga, these are the only two PVTGs recognized in Karnataka. Make sure you make that correction from my previous class. Okay, and I think we made this correction in the class itself. The second one, Karnataka is in terms of tiger population is second with 563. That's, we made it in the class, but in case if you missed out, please make sure you do that correction. Madhya Pradesh 785. Is that okay? Have you made that correction? Yes. One more issue was with respect to biodiversity heritage site. Yes, you asked about this in the previous class, biodiversity heritage site. We had 2 slides, 4 of them over here and 7 of them over here. So I did lot of searching and all of that. So these 4 sites are recognized at the national level. National Biodiversity Board website, if you go, you will find these 4. But if you go to the state department ka website, you will have this also. And Wikipedia therefore has given all the 7 plus 4. Is that okay? So there are all the 4 plus 7. Just be aware of it. Is that okay? In case if they ask a question, accordingly you try to manage it. Is that okay? So all the 7 plus 4 are there, okay, in various sources. These 4 are there in the National Biodiversity Board website. So probably it is recognized at the national level also. The other, I am assuming that maybe it is yet to be in the list of this board, so therefore it might not be there in their website. Is that okay, guys? So both are correct, both slides are correct. Yes, last week you had the doubt, right? So this is what it is. Is that okay, guys? Right? So with that, we'll start with today's class. So as I told you, today's class will be with respect to MCQs. We will try to solve MCQs and then learn the topic. Okay, those who have already read it, make sure you get all the MCQs correct. Is that okay? So we'll start with first January month's current affairs. Which organization served as the nodal agency for organizing Millets and Organic International Trade Fair? Okay, so we celebrated 2023 as the year of millets. Yes, millets are being promoted for sustainable agriculture, okay, for better, for rain-fed agriculture areas. Millets will be a good alternative. Okay, in terms of nutrients, also nutritious value, millets are and national institution. I mean, it is all closely related, but somewhere you can rule out the Food Corporation of India, but the other three. So the answer is C. Okay, so answer is A. Okay, Karnataka State Agricultural Produce Processing and Export Corporation Limited. Okay, so millets and orange. So you can give the heading in your book, January 2024 Current Affairs. The first topic. So you can go on listing the topics. First topic, Millets and Organic International. 5th edition of this was held in Bengaluru. It was organized by the Karnataka State Agricultural Produce Processing and Export Corporation Limited. The benefits, I am sure you should be aware by now, right? So millets are useful as an alternative to promote sustainable agriculture. Okay, so it benefits the farmer because input costs is lower. Nutrient value of millets to ensure holistic nutrient available for for our society. Millets is being promoted. So all these are the benefits of millets from the mains point of view. These all will become important. Okay, so Karnataka State Agriculture Produce Processing and Export Corporation Limited. With respect to some millets data relating to Karnataka, here it is. So millets in Karnataka. So Karnataka is one of the largest producer of millets in India. So 40% of country's millets are produced in Karnataka. So we also export almost 36 crore worth of millets. So we are exporters of millets also. So some of the major places where we export millets includes US, Australia, UAE, Canada, Qatar, Thailand and Singapore. These are the places where we do this. So we currently want to double the millet export, and therefore various initiatives to promote millets. Then major products that are exported are sorghum, jowar, ragi and their value added products. So processed millets and other things. Major millet growing districts, please remember these. Okay, so Ballari, Koppal, Bengaluru Rural, Haveri and Chitradurga. These are some data relating to millets in Karnataka. All are correct. So basically the statements of that has been put, so you can copy it quickly. Finish. Online students also try to attempt these questions. So those who have already read it, you should be able to answer everything. You should be able to answer everything. Those who are doing it for the first time, make sure through these questions you learn the topic. Okay, done? Okay, we'll move on. Okay. What is the primary aim of Climate Smart Utility Award 2023? To recognize efficient water management practice, raise awareness, honor organization with advanced sewage treatment technology, promote digital water initiative. A. B. Okay, so the answer is A. Right, 1 minute, let me just yeah, sorry, B. Okay, raise awareness of climate change response in water utilities. Okay, B. Option is B. And BWSSB got this award. I don't know how, but they did win the award. Maybe the summertime they stop water supply. So that is why I guess. Okay, so BWSSB stands for Water Supply and Sewage Board. Anyway, so Climate Smart Utility Award, okay, 2023. So BWSSB was awarded the Climate Smart Utilities Award, and this is for climate change initiative. It's a second edition, so this is awarded by the International Water Association and African Water Association. Okay, so this International Water Association is an NGO. Okay, so it acts as a knowledge hub. It is based in London. It was started in 1999. In case if you want these little bit information. Okay, so International Water Association is an NGO. It acts as a knowledge hub, research body. It tries to do advocacy campaign and creating awareness about climate change and how it impacts water supply in various developing nations, located in London. All right, so they have an award called as Climate Smart Utilities Award. 2023 was given to BWSSB. Okay. Climate Smart Utilities Award. All right. Next one. Who has prepared Energy Efficiency Action Plan for Karnataka? Karnataka Renewable Energy Development Limited. Okay. Right. So Karnataka Energy Efficiency Action Plan. And Confederation of Indian Industries. So they have come up with an action plan to promote, policy measures in order to policy measures relating to renewable energy. Okay, so Karnataka Energy Efficiency Action Plan, okay, by KREDL. So KRDL, Karnataka Renewable Development Limited, set up in 1996 in order to promote renewable energy projects in the state. In 1996, in order to promote renewable energy projects, so they identify, promote and develop. So whatever questions and however it is asked, at least these basic keywords, if you are able to remember, you will have familiarity. And having familiarity is enough to solve multiple choice question. You might not know all the things. You don't have to know everything. If you are having familiarities, just one or two words, okay, Renewable Energy Development Limited. Okay, so promote renewable energy. These are obvious statements, right? So Karnataka Energy Efficiency Action Plan. Okay, so to promote your renewable energy, etc., we have this organization. Okay, next. What is the primary purpose of AI enabled policing software called as Police IT version 2? Police IT. Yes? Cyber security? Yes? Okay, so this Police IT for everything to do with police management. Okay, right from receiving the FIR, investigation, and then finally the submission of the case, everything. The back end work that the police does, everything will be managed through Police IT. Is that okay? So write down Police IT. Okay, there are several such AI and machine learning initiatives that are started by the Police Department of Karnataka. One is this Police IT version 2, policing management. Okay, next, AI tool that aid victims of human trafficking. So police has created an AI tool for victims of human trafficking that was launched in Karnataka recently. So what is the name? Anybody? Saral? Anybody else? Okay, so the answer is Saral. So what is Saral? Saral is an AI tool, arrow mark, for human trafficking. AI tool for human trafficking. AI trafficking for, AI tool for human trafficking. Okay, next one. What is the role of Police Mitra implemented by state police? Yes? Citizen queries. Anybody else? Managing police vehicle, facilitating citizen queries to receive cybercrime complaints, real-time traffic management. So Police Mitra, friend of police. So it is for addressing various queries of citizens. Is that okay? So Police Mitra dash citizens query. Police Mitra. So questions can be asked like this, or it can be also asked as match the following also. Is that okay? Match. Police Mitra for facilitating citizens queries in various topics. Okay, so just various AI and machine learning tools started by police department, police IT, holistic functioning, right from the registration of FIRs till the disposal. So internal management, file movement, okay, all of that will be done through police IT V2. Then Saral mobile app is for victim of human trafficking under the Immoral Trafficking Prevention Act 1956. So everything from documentation, procedures, applicable law, everything will be available through this tool. Is that okay? Also a list of shelter homes where the victims shall be residing. All that information will be made available through Saral mobile app for human trafficking. Then chatbot called as Police Mitra. You might have seen, in most websites nowadays we have this AI enabled chatbots. So you can ask queries, most of them which are common questions, they will have an automated answers to that, right? So chatbot called as Police Mitra, okay, along with chat GPT for all citizens. It involves everything that citizens have queries on: cybercrime, traffic, issues of women, children and senior citizens. All these issues, okay, will be addressed through Police Mitra. Is that okay? Chatbot along with chat GPT, all citizens, cybercrime, traffic, issues of women and all of that. Next, KSPAI, Karnataka State Police AI. So this is an AI tool used for analysis of case. So by making the information relating to various cases that has been solved previously, relevant laws, all these information are fed into AI. AI will process this information and try to give output from that information, which will be used to solve cases. Okay, just to assist the police officers who are trying to solve cases. Then economic offences investigation software has been developed. As such, there is no name, so therefore it has been mentioned. It will analyze the bank statements, try to identify patterns in these bank statements, okay, and try to identify economic offences using that bank statements. They will recognize the pattern and detect potential fraudulent activities. So there is a software for this as well. These are just examples of various AI enabled policing tools. Is that okay? Right? Police IT, Saral, chatbot, Mitra, Police Mitra, and this is okay. These two are not having any specific name, they are very generic term. Is that okay? But useful from your GS point of view, like in e-governance you can use this examples. So whatever you write here, some of them are useful from your mains as well. So in science and technology or in governance, e-governance, policing, if a topic is asked, you can use these as an example. Same way, if I have to add little bit information from the mains point of view, now how AI can assist in e-governance or how AI can assist in policing, if a question like that is asked, less of policing but more on e-governance. You can expect a question on e-governance. So one of the heading can be on law and order maintenance and how AI can help. Okay, even in science and technology, application of AI and machine learning can be a question. In that case, you can say, write all these things in your answers, but it's very generic. I'll just very quickly read out. I'm sure most of you will be able to write these. So predictive policing, like what we saw in economic offences, identify pattern, recognize them, and therefore you can resolve cases, allocate resources according to the pattern and trends. Second, data analysis, huge amount of data can be processed by these AI tools. Facial recognition for surveillance footage, etc. Even during COVID, one of my friend used to work in IISc. So they had created this AI tool which can identify whether people are wearing mask or not. Is that okay? So like that. So people can be identified, you know, large amount of data from CCTV, etc. So they can identify criminals by using AI tools. Automated dispatches, surveillance of crowded areas during festivals and other such gatherings, cybercrime prevention, promote transparency, make it much more efficient and cost effective. It can reduce the number of staff needed for processing these data and all of that. So therefore, that's how it is useful. I mean, something like this will be useful from your mains point of view. With this information, you can write one essay only. Is that okay? E-governance as an essay topic, if it is asked, you'll need examples, you can use this. Okay, we'll move on. Next one. Which course has the highest enrollment among the students of Karnataka according to the ASER Karnataka report 2023? Makes sense, common sense, right? Humanities and art. Just because you are from science background or something, don't think like that. Is that okay? Humanities and art. Okay. So Karnataka mein large number of enrollment students enroll into, almost 40% of them enroll into humanities and arts. Okay, I'll put the data again. You can just solve this, actively think about it. Which non-profit organization released ASER Karnataka report? Anybody? Right? Pratham. Okay. Yes? Pratham. Okay, ASER report 2023 by an NGO called as Pratham. Yes. So currently what is there is this ASER Beyond Basic. Earlier it was called as ASER Basic. Now it is called as ASER Beyond Basic because they have added additional number of, they have for the first time a particular age group has been involved. Which one is it? (14 to 18). So 18 years old and their study has been done for the first time in this report. Okay, we'll quickly go through that. ASER 2023, the topic is ASER 2023 Beyond Basic. ASER 2023 Beyond Basic. So it's an annual status of education report by an NGO called as Pratham. It focused on the age group 14 to 18. Until 2014, what they had was 2005 basic ASER report from 2005 onwards. Then it became alternative year cycle from 2016. Every alternate year they come up with this report. I'll repeat again, since 2005 until 2014 a report used to come annually. After 2016 it became alternate year. Anyways, this is not that important, but at least the NGO is important, 14 to 18 age group. So they come up with various data. So with respect to Karnataka, they have done it across India. With respect to Karnataka, they took sample children belonging to age group of 14 to 18. In which city? Which city was studied? Only one city was studied, that is Mysuru. Okay, so it was studied Mysuru, and the organization that was involved in this study, District Institution of Education and Training, Mysore, and Government Maharani's Women Teachers Training Institute, Mysore. So this collects sample data, okay, from a district in every state across India. In Karnataka, the sample was taken from Mysuru. Okay, they took sample of students and then they studied their data, and they have come up with some information relating to that. Yes. Okay. So some of the data, quickly I will put up these things, but at the end what I will put up a slide of all these. So that would be more important. Let me just quickly go through this. If you want later from the YouTube, you can take it. These are all available online, but just try to make sense of it. You don't have to by heart. It's too much of a data for you to by heart. Anyways, basic arithmetics, okay, somewhere between 35 to 38 Okay, so percentage of youth, you can at least do division of the age group and sex. Okay, so 38-35%. Okay, 14 to 16 about 38%, 17 to 18 52%. Then basic reading, youth who can read at least standard 2 level texts by age group, so around 70% of them can do those basic reading. Then you have English reading, youth who can read at least a sentence in English, 14 to 16 about 60% and 17 to 18 around 65%. Okay, then reading and understanding written instructions, okay, so around 85% over here, same way 85% over here. Then youth who has enrolled in various streams, so as I told you, more than 40% art and humanities, science, the STEM and commerce 34%, 20% and other higher medical science etc. professional courses is only about 1.2%. Is that okay? So these are some data. Then with respect to vocational training, very less percentage vocational training, just about 4.5% of them have received some kind of vocational training. Work information, about 35% are working. Okay, about 35% of them are working as well as studying. So those who worked at least 15 or more days in the last month by age and group, so around 35% of the youth are working. So if I have to put it in numbers, at least this you write down and try to get familiarity, that's all. You don't need exact data. If it is asked, if you don't know, you might have to skip it, that's all. But at least somewhere to rule out options you can remember. So basic arithmetic ranging from 35 to 38%. 14 to 18 age group, na? So on an average around 35 to 38% does basic maths. Basic reading around 70%. English around 60% of the youth. Read and understand instruction about 80%. Vocational training very less, 4%, 4 to 5%. Is that okay? And working is around 34%. At least some familiarity you will get by looking at this data. Is that okay? So if you see reading, English, understanding, all of that is good. Maths, our students are a little bit less. That's why CSAT is a difficult topic for most of us. Working is around 35%. I mean, that's how you try to make a joke of something and try and remember these data till the exam. Vocational training, very less. Is that okay? Some sense of familiarity you should have with this respect to this data. And number of people who have taken different streams. So you have your humanities around 40%, commerce next, followed by STEM, followed by other courses. At least in that arranging order, if you have some idea, you will be able to get. These data can also be used for your GS also when you are writing your mains. 34% of young age group between 14 to 18 years are working. Okay, is that fine? We'll move on. Okay, so some awards, okay, that has been given. Basava Puraskar, Kuempu, okay, which 87 or 2000? 87. Okay, so the first option, Basava Puraskar, was first awarded to Kuempu in the year 1987. Okay, quickly we'll go through these awards. You can write down. Okay, some of the important awards given by Karnataka. Basava Award, what is it given for? Social reforms and those who promote religious harmony, social harmony. So you have in 2022-23 human rights activist Professor Anand Teltumble from Maharashtra, 23-24 Professor N.G. Mahadevappa from Dharwad. Then Pampa Award, D'Souza. Then Sri Bhagwan Mahavir Shanti Award, Jeena Datta Desai and Gandhi Seva Ashram, Gujarat. T. Chaudhaya Award, okay, Nityananda Haldipur for flute, Sri Ramlu, Nadaswara. Okay, so these are some of the important awards. So match the following, direct question, either the award and the personality or the personality and the awards, all those things can be asked. Hardly like around 20 names you might have to remember throughout the preparation. Remember for the prelims, and after that you can forget. Yeah, 2023, 24 is enough. I mean, if you go too back also, it is unnecessary effort. Probability will be lesser. Most recent ones is what they will ask. So 23 current affairs, you can do it on your own. If you have time, we will do it like this. Okay, because you can read the book and you can cover the entire topic. 24, because we will not be having time to give the book, we will do it off. So maybe later March we can do, once the March month is over, quickly we can do it like this. If we have time, if the exam gets postponed, right, we can continue with this revision classes, etc. Is that okay? Shall we move on? And also some information on some of the important awards you can keep in mind also. There is a tendency to ask that. Okay, we'll move on. Yes, so some basic information about different awards are here. You can write down this also. Yeah, so the Basava award. One minute. Sorry, this is Pampa award. Pampa Award, highest literary award in the state since 1987 by Department of Kannada and Culture for literature in Kannada language. Kuempu was the first one. Basava Puraskar Award for social reforms and, as I told you, religious harmony since 2000. Okay, Saraswati Gora was the first one. Sri Bhagwan Mahavir Shanti Award since 2016 for promotion, I mean those who are promoting peace, non-violence, harmony, people's welfare, religious and culture, promoting religious and cultural values. So this can be given for persons or it can be given for organization also. Yes? Huh? Yes? Previous slide, is it? Okay, maybe just. Yeah. Right, so yeah. B is the answer, sorry. Right. So the question here, B is the answer, yeah. Sorry, this is needs to be corrected. Okay, so the answer is B. All of you made that correction? Yes? Yeah, so we'll go back to this. Okay, next one. Ummatat is a folk dance originating from which region of Karnataka? Yes? Kodagu. Okay, so the answer is 3. Kodagu. Okay, so why was it in news? Coorg Person of the Year, Padma Awardee Rani Machaya, okay, given by Coorg Tourism. Okay, so anyways, these information are not so important because it's local news, but at least Ummatat is a folk dance from Kodagu, you can remember. Only that point would be important, but the rest is you can just try and remember this, that's all. Ummatat is a folk dance, okay, from Kodagu, and so therefore somewhere it was in news, you can just keep that in mind. So to promote this art form, she set up Kaveri Kala Vrinda. Okay, let's move on. Next one. Lal Bagh flower show, no question as such, but it's held twice a year, Republic Day, Independence Day. Just if you want to know the theme, so Republic Day theme for this year was Basavanna. Last year it was about history of Bengaluru. Okay. So this year's theme Basavanna and last year's theme was history of Bengaluru. All right. I mean, again local news, but at least the name or familiarity. So proposed length of corridor 4 of Namma Metro, Kanaka line. Okay, that is too much of data, but anyways, 46 kilometers. Right, so if you want to remember these kind of information, but very unlikely, but at least you should be able to, at least in the exam, in case worst case may they ask, you should get familiarity. Okay, we'll move on. Yes. Huh? You want this? Okay. Okay. So what is the primary focus of Mentor a Student initiative? Yes. Huh? Enhancing TOEFL examination. Okay. That's correct. Mentor a Student. Write down. Point. Mentor a Student initiative for TOEFL by Department of School Education in order to help them succeed in the test of English as foreign language TOEFL examination. So for entrance to many universities, you have this exam, TOEFL. So Mentor a Student, Department of School Education. For TOEFL examination. Okay. Next. Which educational institution collaborated with Bengaluru Rural District Police for Say No to Drug Awareness campaign? Again, it's a very localized news, but just get familiar with this. Yes. Alliance University. So which educational institution? So Say No to Drugs campaign by Bangalore Rural Police with Alliance University. No information beyond that, it's okay. Next, Karnataka State Higher Education, all the stakeholders relating to higher education, the government, universities, academics and experts. So the main objective is to promote academic excellence, social justice, autonomy, accountability of institution of higher education, to promote growth, to give autonomy to various higher educational institutions. So overall to promote higher education sector. So this Karnataka Education Council, the chairman is Minister of Higher Education, and the vice chairman is an eminent educationist who is or has been a vice chancellor of university or a member of any apex body of higher education. So sometimes, since it was in news, sometimes they can ask such kind of questions. So who is the chairman of this council? It will be the minister. The vice chairman of this council will be some eminent educationist whose condition, the criteria is that should have been a vice chancellor or is a vice chancellor or is a member of some other apex higher education body. So they will be the vice chairperson. So anything to do with higher education, to do recommendation, to give recommendation, etc., about the fees, about the academics, about the curriculum, in order to identify certain institution, to give them autonomy, all of them can be guided and advised by this council. So the council is chaired by them. It is set up under the State Higher Education Council Act 2010. It's a collective of all government education departments and universities and various academicians and experts in the field of higher education. So Karnataka State Higher Education Council. Okay, so if you had seen even I think yesterday's news also, this thing was there where they came up with the recommendation to increase the fees for post graduation and things like that. So though those need not be asked, at least some information relating to that. So presently Professor Y.S. Siddegowda, Vice Chairman, it has come up with a report recently to introduce common calendar, fee structure, evaluation process in public universities. It also has increased or enhanced the fees for post graduation and a uniform fees matrix, for which there was a lot of opposition and things like that is happening. So you can just keep that in mind. So Karnataka State Higher Education Council, Vice Chairman Siddegowda, committee report was accepted or was given to the government dealing with all these things. Okay, at least the name you can remember. Okay, next some information relating. So while I was searching for all the information, I found out some basic data relating to higher education. Even if they don't ask in prelims or in GS, in interview they have asked me also how many universities are there in Karnataka, how many medical colleges are there in Karnataka, they have asked. So if you want such data, you can see this. So this is from the website. If there is some changes later on, I don't know, but this is the government website, this one. So there are 41 public universities, there are 27 private universities, public-private partnership में 1 university, St. Joseph's, state deemed university around 11, Central University of Kalburgi is the only central university in Karnataka, and there are 9 institutions of national importance. Be aware of it, that's all. Just a picture, just a mindset, like 40 plus public universities are there, 27 private universities, PPP 1, state deemed university around. And so in this government university, government website I found these information. So then I just remembered my interview time and therefore I have put this. Never know to what extent they can go to ask questions. So one central, at least some basic important one central university in Kalburgi, right, 4127 approximately. Institute of national importance, let me give you a list of those things. So these are the institutions of national importance that are there in Karnataka. Even if it is not in news, as a general knowledge relating to Karnataka, they can ask. IISc is one such institution. Indian Institute of Information Technology, Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research, NIMHANS, NIT, Surathkal, IIM Bangalore, Law College Bangalore, International Law School Bangalore, Indian Institution of Information Technology Dharwad, and Indian Institution of Technology Dharwad. So these are the institution of national importance in Karnataka. Please at least make note of these, or at least get a picture of this, so that you will, if you happen to go through it 2-3 times, you can try and remember. So which of the following is not a national, institution of national importance in Karnataka? They can give a list of it. So something like that. Is that okay? Which you don't know, you write down. The rest, if you're familiar, you can skip it. Okay? Correct. But this is, as I told you, this is from the government website. Okay, so the one which is in yes, so that was not there, even I was wondering, but this is, this is from the latest update from the website, so I am not sure of whether that has been accorded this one. When Modi came and inaugurated, they said they will give it, because it's a statutory provision. Okay, so the status has to be given through the law. So this is what is the law. So they create these national institutions through a law. Okay, so institution of national importance. Okay, so these are some eminent and prominent centers of higher education. Once it is recognized by an act of a parliament, so they will be given a higher degree of autonomy, okay, to frame their own curriculum, admission process, etc. So they are all enacted or given this status by an act of parliament. So those institutions which serve as a pivotal player in developing highly skilled personnel within the specified region of the country or state, such an institution will be designated as institution of national importance. Okay. All right, next, you can answer this. So what is the purpose of green tax collected by Karnataka Forest Department for vehicle entering BR Hills through BRT Tiger Reserve? Yes? So almost everything seems okay, like say road maintenance, tribal welfare, afforestation, reduce air pollution control. Yes? Afforestation program. So the answer is tribal welfare. Okay. So this is the information. So Karnataka Forest Department will be collecting 10-20 rupees. So the money collected will be going to BRT fund, which will be spent on wildlife protection and for tribal welfare, wildlife protection. Okay. So so afforestation, to what extent will it be directly or indirectly, but it is very clearly mentioned here, so that would be the best option. In case if it was not there, then you can say otherwise. So wildlife protection, so that night time there will be animal crossing or something like that, or to reduce the the traffic, so utilize the fund for also the forest department must also use it in they have recommended. But anyway, so this is again allowed under the Wildlife Protection Act under section 28 clause 2 of the act. It empowers the government to collect fee or whatever, okay, toll, etc. in the form of money. So that's green, it's called as green tax, but otherwise it's not per se a tax, it's just a name, it's just a nickname, green tax. Tax means it should go to the consolidated fund. It is not going to the consolidated fund. Green tax is just a term. Otherwise, it's somewhat like a toll or a fee that is collected. You can consider it to be like that, or a cess kind of a thing, but it's not a tax by real definition, that's all. Is that okay, guys? So it's collected under section 28 clause 2. I don't think they'll go into that technical detail and all, but just be aware of this under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Is that okay? Fine. So tribal, see, that's why so many of you made this mistake now, but you will not make it again in the actual exam. That's the beauty of solving multiple choice question. That's why I tell you also, solve as many as possible, make mistakes. Once you make mistakes, you will not repeat it. Okay, right. Next one. Who developed Grama Kannada audio search, a search engine for Tumukuru dialect? So they are trying, I mean, Kannada itself has several dialects. So they are trying to record the different dialects. So they have started with Tumukuru dialect. Right. So which of these institutions are developing this? Anybody? A. Central Institute. It's a very obvious point, but that's not the answer. The answer is International Institution of Information Technology, Bangalore. Now you will never forget this in your life. Okay. It makes sense, Central Institute. So such things should be picked up and you should try and rule out that options. Right. So Grama Kannada. So basically it's an audio search engine for Tumukuru dialect. It's a project that is being implemented or being made by the IIT Bangalore. So International Institution of Information Technology. Basically they are collecting various audio that has been from the various from the radio station called as Nammahalli Radio. So whatever has been presented in these radio on this Tumukuru dialect, this has been collected and various tools, technology tools have been used to process it, and then finally they have come up with this. So the recordings of the interaction with villagers, community residing in Tumukuru dialects, etc., they have been collected, processed, and they have been doing this. So this is what this Grama Kannada program is. Is that okay? So some points are this: Tumukuru dialect, IIT Bangalore, Nammahalli Radio, the community radio program which has collected these information. Okay. Right. So that completes January month. So as I told you, for 2023 this would be ideal. We have just selected some important topics and we have put in this book. So you can collect, if you don't have this book, you can collect it while going. It's available now. All right. So we'll start with the February month. So that completes January's most important Karnataka current affairs. Okay. So hardly around 15-20 topics will be there. Same way, let's finish off February month's current affairs. So the first one, who is the current Chief Justice of Karnataka? So recently, yes, simple one. So now information relating to the Chief Justice, appointment, how many years, how they are removed, all that in polity you will be studying, but this fact with respect to Chief Justice of Karnataka, okay, so you can remember that. Now anyways, so next another question and then we'll move on to the topic. Yes. Consider the following statement with respect to Karnataka's High Court. Alright, so Athara Kacheri is the seat of principal bench of Karnataka High Court. Is this statement correct? Yes, no? Okay, you don't know, let's move on to the next one. It has 3 additional benches located in Dharwad, Kalburgi and Mangaluru. It has only 2, right? So this statement is incorrect. So we can rule out this option. Maximum sanction strength is 62. Don't know. Okay. So now at least 3 you have ruled out. So there is 33% probability. Should you mark or not mark? Not mark. Okay. Anyway, so Athara Kacheri is correct. Maximum sanction strength also is correct. Okay. So 1 and 3 is correct. Now, what I want you to also keep in mind is, see, now you have, right, 4 options. If you have all the 4 options, then you don't mark that. I mean, if you have not ruled out any one, you never mark that question. Somebody was asking some tips with respect to multiple choice question. So if you have ruled out one of the option, okay, let's say you have ruled out option D, so 3 options are left. So the probability that you will get correct answer is 33%. We'll keep this later for later point of time. Now let's say you have ruled out 2 option and 2 option is left, okay, and the other way would be you have ruled out all the 3 options and 1 is left. So obviously you will mark this kind of question. You should also mark this kind of question. Never leave it. Whatever is your position, never leave this. Don't be so honest saying that I don't know out of these 2, so I'll be honest and I will not mark it. Don't. Out of these 2, mark any one. Is that understood? It is okay to mark it. Okay. Net results will be always positive. See, what is the probability you will get correct? 50%. See, you have to again use CSAT to try and justify this, what I am trying to tell. So, there is 50% of the chance that you are going to get it correct, 50% of the chance you will get it wrong. Now, let us say 100 questions are there in the paper, and let us say all the 100 questions are like this, where you have ruled out 50% of the question. So, that means if you mark all the 100, what is the probability you will get it correct? No, 50 again. So, 50 questions will be correct and 50 questions will be wrong. So, 50 questions correct means 100 marks, 50 questions incorrect means minus 0.25. So, that is 25. So, what is the net results? 75. So, still you will be in the positive only. Is that okay? So, therefore, you should mark this kind of questions also. All of you, you should take that risk. I mean, you don't blindly follow it. Practice it in your test series. You will get to know that if you mark these kind, at the end you will get net positive only. Experience that and you should do that, because you will not get all 100 questions, you will not be knowing. Correct? No, not all 100 questions or not even 50 questions you will be knowing exactly, yes, this is the answer. You will not be knowing. There will be a lot of questions where you would have ruled out 2 options and you would be left with 2 options. Take my suggestion, mark it. Whatever, inky, pinky, ponky or whatever you do, and you mark it, whichever it is. Right. Now, coming to the questions where you have ruled out only one option. So, there are 3. So, here 33% chances that you will get it as correct. The rest 66 or 67% will be incorrect. So, this you will have to decide depending upon your performance. Okay, you will have to decide, you have to take a call in the exam hall whether you should mark such questions or not. Is that okay? Say for example, out of 100 questions, you have been able to mark only 20 questions where you have ruled out 3 or ruled out 2, and that is only 20 to 30 questions. In this case, even if you get all of them correct, there is high chance that you might not be able to get the enough marks for the cutoff. In such cases, what you have to do? You have to mark even these. Again, probability wise it will say that you will get 33 correct means it is 66, and let us say 67 or whatever, 60, let us say for simpler we will make it like this, 68. What is 68 half? 34 half? 17. Yes, 17. So, still you are going to get net positive, but it's still a very risky game if you are at a cutoff level. So, you have to take a call depending upon how many marks, I mean how many questions you have marked and how much you are going to get. If you are going to get around 110, 120 without marking this, then don't mark it. But if you are getting somewhere around 80 out of 200, it is better you mark these also. So, therefore, the third criteria that you have to decide in the exam hall itself. Just to recap, if you have ruled out 3 options, if you have ruled out 2 options, go for it, mark it. Obviously, this you will mark, this one also you have to mark, you should mark. The third category, where you have ruled out only one option, you take a choice, you take a chance depending upon how many questions you have solved. If you are near the cutoff, you have to take a chance. If you have crossed the cutoff, then you should not take such chances, because you might get negative and you might fall below the cutoff. Now, how will you know the cutoff? In the exam hall. Correct. No, that also you should have some kind of a knack. You see the previous year, your category, what is the cutoff? Okay. So cutoff range will be somewhere around that only. Now, if I have to write, let's say for GM, so GM out of 200 marks, you should get around 110 plus. That is what I would think of. Okay. So if you are a GM student, you should get somewhere around 110 for that paper. So let's say once you have marked in the first round and you are getting only 50 net questions, that means you are only getting 100. It's very risky to leave at that. Okay, so therefore you have to increase the number of questions that you are going to mark. Therefore, you might have to mark that 33% probability questions also. But if you say you have already marked 70 questions, right, so you might be getting about 110. So all correct means you will get 140. Let's take into account the errors and other silly mistakes. Around 110 you might end up getting. So you will be safe. If you mark this 33%, it's risky, you might actually push yourself down. So like that you have to take a call depending upon the cutoff that you might get. Again, the cutoff will vary on various factors. See, last time's cutoff and this time's cutoff, if you take into account, this time's cutoff will be little bit higher because you have more number of posts. Last time there was only 100, now there is 300. So cutoff will be actually more than the previous year. Is that okay? So like that you have to take into account. Then you also have to see whether the question paper is difficult or easy. If it is an easy paper, the cutoff will be higher. If it is a difficult paper, the cutoff will be lower. Now you are asking, how can I decide it is easy or difficult? So there is a method in that also. See, if you are a good student who has studied, you will have all these doubts. Okay, so if you are a good student and if you happen to know majority of the questions, not the answer, majority of the questions, that means it's an easy paper. If you have not heard of those questions, let's say 50 questions you have not at all heard of it, then it's a difficult paper. Because if you are a good student, you would have heard it somewhere or the other. You might not know the answer, perfect answer, but you would have heard about it. If you have heard about it, somebody else knows about it. Is that okay? So therefore they would have marked it. You might not know it because you might not be able to remember at that point of time, but somebody else will do. Like ASER report. Okay, you suddenly forgot, oh Pratham or somebody, oh Preetham or somebody, I don't know, who is it? Suddenly you might have forgotten, but there will be somebody else who actually knows it. So that's an easy question. You categorize such question as easy. Is that a green tax? Who is levying it? Suddenly you forgot who levied it. Okay, but you have heard of it, so therefore it's an easy question. You should categorize it as easy question. Let's say there is a question on Prime Minister, there is a question on Parliament, and you forgot about it, but somebody else knows it. So it's an easy question. Something else, some data with respect to how many youngsters are employed as per ASER report, 32, 31, 36, 34. If that is the thing, then it is a difficult question. Is that understood? So like that you should categorize easy and difficult. So if you get more than 80% easy questions, it's a very easy paper. If it is between 60 to 80% such questions, then it is an easy paper. Less than 60%, then it is medium level. Less than 40%, then it is a difficult paper. So usually the difficulty level will be between 60 to 80%. Difficulty level will be between 60 to 80%. That means 60 to 80 questions will be easy level, easy to medium. Around 20 to 30 questions will be difficult. This is where most of the times civil services question paper will be. That's how it will be. That's how you decide whether it's an easy paper or difficult paper. If it is an easy paper, cutoff can be around 120. If it is a difficult paper, cutoff will be around 90 out of 200, I am saying. So you should land somewhere around that. You understood? You should land somewhere around that. For getting 160, you should at least solve 70 questions. At least 70. Because 60 means 120, right? But that 10 is taken into account for errors and silly mistakes that you are going to do. So on an average, that's how you should be able. You should realize your level of preparation and how. This is my maths. Same way you should do your maths based on your experiences in test series. You should know what is your ability to get correct answers when you guess. Guessing should be done. Is that okay? MCQs may you should not always, you will never get all the questions in MCQs. So a lot of questions you have to guess. Is that okay? So that's how you try and solve multiple choice question and decide how much you have to guess, what you have to do and all of that. Is that okay, guys? Some idea you got? Practice this in your tests. See where do you stand, how much you have to guess. See, I have been seeing the marks of test series students. Most of you, like on an average 60, 70 marks they are getting out of 200. The reason is because you are not ready to take that risk. Take the risk, push yourself, see how much you mark about 80 to 90 questions. Guesswork. So that's what I told you. When you have ruled out one option, try and guess in the practice test and see how much you are going to get. How many times you will be correct. On that day, if you have better luck, most of the questions will be correct. Trust me, that's how it will be. From somebody who has cleared the prelims all the time, I am telling you, this is how you can practice it. Is that okay? Fine, we'll move on. So Atara Kacheri, okay, is the seat of principal bench of Karnataka. It's called as Atara Kacheri because earlier earlier it was a secretariat. It was actually a secretariat before it was a court. So initially when the Mysore rule was being conducted, it was carried on from the Tippu palace. But the administrative system had grown so big that it could not be carried from the Tippu palace. So then they had to shift to a newer building which had more which had more space for all the department. So that is where this the present High Court building was built. Okay, it was an administrative secretariat building. Okay, so it had 18 departments. Therefore, it was called as Atara Kacheri. Is that okay? So then later it was made into a court. Okay, and the secretariat was later shifted. And they had also planned to actually break it down. Okay, when Vidhan Sabha was being built, Kengal Hanumanta wanted to actually break it down and build a new high court in Indian style. Okay, and this was a colonial legacy, so they wanted to break it down. But then, there was a petition against it in the very same high court, and the high court rejected that, and because it has its historical significance, so therefore it has been left as it is. So please try and remember these facts. Justice Nilai Vipin Chandra Anjaria is the 34th number. All these are important. Other than that, it's fine. So 34th Chief Justice, appointed by whom? Governor or President? President. Okay, so you have 1884. This High Court of Karnataka actually started as the Chief Court of Mysore, and later it was renamed as High Court of Mysore, and on 1st November 1956 it was renamed as High Court of Karnataka. Is that okay? So Chief Court of Mysore, then High Court of Mysore, and since 1956 it is High Court of Karnataka. So Atara Kacheri is the place of its principal bench. It has two other bench, Hubballi Dharwad and Kalburgi Mein. Maximum strength is 62. Currently, that's what I saw, is 45. Okay, just check the numbers once again. So Chief Court of Mysore at Atara Kacheri. This was constructed by Arcot Narayan Swami Mudaliar and Bansilal Ramratan. Okay, during Krishna Raja Wadayar III time. This also is important. Construction was ordered by Bowring. The Atara Kacheri was that administrative building. It was the Secretariat of Mysore, and later it became the seat of High Court. The first Chief Justice, Charles George Plumer. First Chief Justice of Karnataka High Court was R. Venkataramaya. So these are some basic facts that you can remember with respect to the High Court of Karnataka. Multiple choice question, you should always be able to guess, and to guess you need familiarity. The more familiar, you can't remember all the facts. If you are trying to remember facts from prelims point of view, it's going to be very difficult. Few facts you can remember, but large you should accept it. When you accept it, you will start familiarizing with it by creating a story, by constructing a narrative of your own, and that will help you. Like BR Hills, okay, I'm driving in BR Hills, I saw that, something like that. A story will be created, you will get familiarity, you can answer the questions. You can't remember all the facts. Now the story which I tell you, Atara Kacheri, etc. may not be important as it is, but you will never forget it in your life. In the sense, you might not know exact points, but you will have familiarity which will be helpful for ruling out options. That's what you need to do. Is that okay? Create stories, narratives to try and remember the fact. Even like for example, that ASER report, so difficult. But how do you try and understand it? Okay, so in Karnataka, probably everybody wants to get into higher education. So skill training is very less. So around 4% of them take up actually skill training. ITI and other such vocational training courses are not very popular in Karnataka, is what you can tell yourself and get familiar. But maybe in northern states where there is shortage of engineering colleges, here though there is so many engineering college, everybody gets a BTech degree easily. So they don't want to go to vocational training. So like that you create a story of yourself, whether it is right or not, that's immaterial. You create that story, like how I am trying to remember is that like that. So I don't have to by heart it. Somewhere around 5% skill training. But when you see UP and Bihar data, their vocational training courses have a higher enrollment. Why? Because they don't have these engineering colleges. So for manufacturing sector, etc., blue collar job, they will have to go to vocational courses. Like that, if you try and remember, it's okay. And here child labor, let's say, is around 35%, because again still a better performing state economically and socially. But if you go to other northern states, etc., there the number of children who are employed as laborers will be more than 50%. Ariti you can do. Like, and again I told you, maths very bad. Okay, CSAT they are bad. So 35%. Reading, English, etc. English is given too much importance in Karnataka. In terms of number of people who speak English in India across all states, Karnataka has the largest English speaking crowd. So therefore 80%. See, that story, if you know, you can try and rule out lot of options through familiarity. Okay, we'll move on. These are small things that you can use to help ace the exam. Right. Next, in context of Karnataka's recent policy, AVGCXR stands for B, A, B, B. Animation, visual effect, gaming, comic and extended reality. As such, there is nothing much to it, but it is the numbers that you have to remember. AVGCXR policy 3.0 KPSC standard question. Yes? Okay, C. Right, these are two information you can remember. So Karnataka's AVGCXR policy: animation, visual effect, gaming, comic and extended reality, 24-29. So the current policy. Other than that, as such, there is no specific fact that you need to remember. Promote growth, obviously. Create a global leadership ecosystem. Create center for excellence. Karnataka should become a center of excellence for this. Create employment, create export, obviously. right, to promote the IT sector, this policy. 6 strategies: skill development, sustainable infrastructure, empowering startup and MSME, global market access, business development, incentives, concessions, financial support, focus on mobile first AVGC product. As such, there is nothing very specific. If I change this name and make it into something else, IT policy also, it makes it equally relevant. Is that okay? Other than these two information. Growth, export, employment and everything. Is that okay, guys? Move on. Right. Green Index Initiative. Green Index Initiative that is launched in Karnataka. Yes? Rule out. Now what can you rule out? Everything seems to be okay. If you don't know, you don't know, right? Okay. So these are the type of question where you should not leave it. Apply your common sense, think. There is chance that you might end up marking the right one, but anyways. B. C. To rank government programs, yes. To assess and rank sustainability of various. So write down Green Index Initiative. Green Index Initiative to assess and rank sustainability of various government programs. Various government programs. So this Green Index Initiative, it will be available to the public so that public can make informed choices so as to choose those programs which are having greater sustainability. So this index is being done, again index has some 6 categories, under 6 categories 10 indicators are there, and all of that is there. That's too much of an information. So these indicators, based on that they will be ranked. Okay. So this is being done by Government of Karnataka and Environment Management and Policy Research Institution and IISc, Indian Institute of Science. So this is the first of its kind in the country where various government programs are being ranked. Green Index Initiative. From this class, around 3 to 4 questions you can expect. That important it is because the most recent topics we have covered. Okay. Environment Management and Policy Research Institution and IISc to assess government programs. So now you can see it's almost similar option. I mean everything makes sense. Startups also you can say, environmental policies, etc. Here also improve efficiency. Here it is to rank the sustainability. That's the better option. So get that familiarity. Green Index Initiative. Next one. Which one is correct with respect to Ashwamedha Classic buses launched recently? Incorrect. Incorrect. Gone. See? If you are in a hurry, and that, yes, one more point you have to keep in mind is, and what I have also experienced throughout the journey is that what you are really good at, most of the time silly mistakes happens in those topics. What you have read very well, silly mistakes happens in that only. You will mark everything, come back, and then when you read it, you're like, oh God, it is incorrect, oh God. So this is basically a blunder. So therefore, examination may you have to be very focused. You should expect you to do mistakes, especially when it is something which is well known. Oh yeah, Ashwin, oh correct, first one, over. Next, read the other options also. So here it is incorrect. Once you come back, they say, hey, this T is italanta. Then you see it is incorrect. Yeah, now you tell me. Huh? Last one D, right. Ply between district headquarters to Bangalore, that's correct. It's a non-AC bus, so you can write down. Ashwamedha classic buses by KSRTC, non-AC with new designs, bucket seat and all that thing with digital board and all of that will come itself. So in that, right, point to point express bus connecting the headquarters with that of Bangalore, right, LED, bucket seat, okay, spacious luggage carriers, etc. It's not exclusively for women, that's all, okay. Ashwamedha classic buses. Okay, shall we move on? Right, which is correct? This is over. Right, sorry. Yeah. What is the primary aim of Suchi scheme? B? B. Yes. Okay, creating awareness about menstrual hygiene. Economic survey classmate was done. See, that's the advantage. Revise it. All right. So it was restarted. Health department distribution of free menstrual pad kit for 1 year. Okay. School and college students 10 to 18 years, between 10 to 18. Government and aided. If you have missed out, do this. Good guys. I mean, I'm happy that it is benefiting you all. I think we might have just increased the cutoff by about 5-10 marks. Okay, so that also has to be kept in mind then. Okay, we'll move on. Next one. What are the functions of Karnataka Electricity Regulatory Commission? Promote the development and integration of renewable energy source, protecting the interest of electricity consumers, serves as a dispute resolution, all the above. All the above. Okay. So generally when something like this there and you don't know all the three seems to be correct, that time you guess all the above. When you don't know, that is that okay? Most of the time it will be correct, but sometimes it may be wrong, but you can always take that risk and do it. So you should know what type of questions you should guess and take the risk and other things. It's all very important for you guys. Okay, all the above. Yes, Karnataka Electricity Regulatory Commission. So this was set up under the Electricity Regulatory Commission Act 1998, the Act. So it was set up in 1999. So basically it tries to regulate the entire ecosystem relating to electricity production and distribution. So it deals with tariff fixation, cap on the tariffs, issuing of licenses to distributors, producers. It tries to promote renewable energy by integrating renewable energy sources into the state's power grid. It also protects the interest of the consumers and also dispute resolving forum. All these are the functions of the commission, Karnataka Electricity Regulatory Commission, set up under the Act 1998, regulates the entire ecosystem relating to electricity. Okay. Is that okay, guys? Okay, next one. What is the primary focus of Kusina Mane initiative of Karnataka government? It's a community home for orphans, free vaccination for children of Narega workers, healthcare service for children of Narega workers, nutrition, health and safety of children of Narega workers. C, D, B. Which one you can rule out? Okay, so you all know that it is something to do with Narega workers. Okay, so let's rule out this. Okay, so 33% probability now. Last option. So what is it basically? Kusina mane? Crutches. Okay, so therefore, is it only free vaccination? So the story you know, you rule out then, right? Healthcare services, okay, healthcare services here, nutrition, healthcare service as well as safety. So this is a better option, yes. So that's how you talk to yourself in the exam, not loudly, but at least you know yourself that okay, what is it? Yes, it's scratch. Okay, we discussed, we had fun, we discussed about it, all of that. Okay, so all that you have to remember is that much, the story. That familiarity will help you solve the question, right? So kusina mane, crutches. So nutrition, health, basically taking care of children when the mother is working. So Narega workers as well as anybody who is associated with panchayati level workers, panchayati officers, anybody who is associated at the gram panchayat level, mainly for Narega workers, this crutches has been set up. Is that okay? Numbers and all are there. I did not mention all those things, but if you can remember this, correlate these two, it's fine. Is that okay? Fine. Okay. So who was the British official in charge of Dharwad Collectorate during the period when Kittur came under British administration? Though it is a history question. Huh? Thackeray, okay. Thackeray, John Thackeray. Okay, so that's correct. So option is A. So we are celebrating 200 years of Rani Chennamma's victory over the British first raid on Kittur, right? So we are celebrating this year as well. So that 200 years means 1824. Okay, so 1824, when the Britishers first time invaded Kittur, she was able to defend and also killed the commander or the head of the Dharwad British Commissionerate. Okay, so some of the information about it, you can obviously expect a question from that. Okay, from history point of view also, from current affairs point of view also. 200 years celebration. Okay, so various groups are now celebrating that act now for harmony and democracy. These are the NGOs which are working to celebrate that, to create more awareness about her and her achievements among the girls, so that they also get that inspiration and contribute towards the society, nation, etc. A nationwide campaign, Nanu Rani Chennamma, okay, is also being conducted across Karnataka, India. So under this campaign, Kittur Declaration, where they are trying to create awareness among the girls, the fighting spirit of Indian women, promoting equal rights, promoting representation of women in various forums, etc. And every year we also celebrate Kittur Utsava on 22nd to 24th October. Every year it is celebrated. So I hope the story and all, you should, because it's in news, you should know more about the story, right? It was a revolt against it was a resistant movement against the British when the British tried to take over Kittur because it lacked any male heir, right? It was before doctrine of lapse. Doctrine of lapse comes later. So this was before doctrine of lapse, but similar to it only. Okay, because inheritance should be on the male bloodline. So there is a story, if you want some of the information, basic information, and in history you will be reading in your textbook. At least some basic informations are over here. So she was born in Kagati, Belagavi, 1778, married to Raja Malasaraju of Kittur, who died in 1816. His eldest son, Shivalinga Garuda, okay, so ascended to throne. He also died. Before his death, he actually tried to adopt a child, Shivalingappa, but that was not recognized by the Britishers, and therefore she also wrote to the British East India Company to recognize the adopted son as the legal heir, but it was rejected, and then the Britishers went and tried to occupy Kitturu, and she resisted that. In the first this one she was victorious, but in the second one she was defeated. All right. So to celebrate the first victory, we celebrate the this one, and also Sangoli Rayana, obviously you know, commander of the army. Yeah, so some information you can write down. Okay, you look up in your history. Okay, we'll move on. Who founded Mysore Lac and Prints Limited, 1937? Almost every year this is in news. But anyways, this year also it's in news. Yes. Okay. Maharaja Krishnaraja Odear, 4. Okay, we'll see this information. So Mysore, give the heading Mysore Lac and Prints Limited, 1937. So started in 1937 by Maharaja Krishnaraja Odear, 4. It provides lot of things, not just for election, the ink for the elections, but also it also provides decorative paints, wood polish, varnish, thinners, everything. So at least you should be able to understand, not just for public use also, I mean not just for government use, but also for private use also. Some of its notable contributions is election ink, right? Security ink to RBI to print its security notes, etc. Passports, other secure documents, and also the sealing wax which is used to seal, by banks and other institutions, various things to seal that they punch and seal the boxes and things like that. It's a public sector unit under government of Karnataka. Ink for election obviously is provided by this PSU. This election ink is developed by Council of Industrial Research, National Physical Laboratory in Delhi, and it is manufactured by Mysore Paints and Varnish Limited. And these paints are, these election inks are not just used in India, and you know that it has been used across the world in several countries, Asian countries, African countries, even Afghanistan. Whenever they did elections, it was sent from India itself. So, as you all know that it stays in, when it is applied on skin, it stays for about 3 days. If it is applied on the nail, it remains for a week or more than a week. Okay. Right, Mysore Paints and Varnish Limited. Is that okay? All right. Next, program for prevention and control of snake bite is being implemented by. Yes. Simple question. A. Okay. Anybody else? A. Yes. National Center for Disease Control. Earlier it was National Center for Communicable Diseases, renamed as National Center for Diseases. So why is it in news is because snake bite has been designated as notifiable disease in Karnataka. What is the reason? The option you can see that. So why has snake bite been designated as a notifiable disease in Karnataka? Read all the options and then you decide. Increase awareness, facilitate better treatment, track the number of snake bites, encourage snake conservation. A or B? C. See, any notifiable disease is only to track. See, what is a notifiable disease? Whenever they come to the healthcare facilities, it is the responsibility of the healthcare worker to register such cases in the government prescribed manner. That is what is called as notifiable diseases. Like COVID may also, it is temporarily notified. So whenever there is a COVID case, they had to register it. The idea is not to treat it like that. Treatment comes separately. This notifiable disease is to track it so that we can plan the actions to control it, prevent it, stop it, whatever. So that is notifiable disease. If you know that, the answer is C. To track the number of snake bite for effective monitoring, that's all. So as to reduce the, this one, or make the anti-venom available where the cases are high and things like that. Alright, so anyways, so Karnataka recently notified snake bite as issued a snake bite as a notifiable disease. So this is done under the Epidemics Diseases Act. So this was the ancient, archaic, colonial law during the bubonic plague of Bombay during that. So the provision to declare it is under that. That's what I have found, but if there is any other regulation, you just check it. But what I've tried to find out was that most probably it is under the Epidemics Diseases Act, where the state government has been given the power to declare any disease as a notifiable disease. Some of the important ones at the national level like AIDS, leprosy, these are all being declared as a notifiable disease. Time to time it can change with respect to states. If a state feels like in Delhi, I think dengue was declared as a notifiable disease, or dengue or malaria, like that. So every state will have its own notifiable disease, and at national level also you have notifiable disease like cholera, this one, AIDS, COVID, I don't know whether now also it is still there under this, snake bite notified so as to track the number of cases. So all the information has to be submitted to the health department within 24 hours after the case comes to the healthcare center. So they will be uploaded to integrated health information platform of Ministry of Health, register all cases. So Karnataka is the first state to declare it as a notifiable disease. Is that okay? So these are some of the information. Snake bite, some additional information with respect to snake bites. So as I told you, this snake bite, what was the question? Yeah. Prevention and control of snake bite. Currently it is being, there is a program under the National Center for Disease Control. I'll just put that slide. National Center for Disease Control. Earlier it was known as National Institution for Communicable Disease. Earlier National Center for Malaria Control. Malaria reduced, they named it as Communicable Disease. Now in addition to that, Center for Disease Control. Center for One Health, under it you have a center called as Center for One Health, under which they are implementing control, prevention of rabies, other zoonosis, leptospirosis and snake bites. For snake bite, there is a national program called as National Action Plan for Prevention and Control of Snake Bite. The objective is to reduce the mortality and disabilities associated with snake bite to half by the year 2030. There is some info, because again snake bite has been notified means it must be something important from Karnataka point of view. So these are the some of the information in addition to those things. National Center for Disease Control has Center for One Health, under which snake bite is being monitored, implemented, schemes, etc. The scheme is National Action Plan for Prevention and Control of Snake Bite Envenoming. Objective, reduce it by 50% by 2030. Yeah, rabies also is a notifiable disease, correct. Tuberculosis is a notified disease. Like that it is there. I mean, you can just cross check it at the national level what is there. Tuberculosis is, AIDS is, rabies is, cholera is. So these are some of the ones. So because if it happens, then we will be able to track it, and if it becomes an endemic or something like that, it is high in number, actions can be taken under the malaria control program or whatever. So rabies is also such thing. Okay, we'll move on. Is that okay, everybody? So under the Epidemic Act, okay, notified. Once notified, registration has to be done. Nothing else. That's the main objective. If it is not, then action will be taken against the healthcare institutions and the workers if it is not notified. Then there is, as such question I have not framed, but tele-ICU hubs. So critical patients, okay, who will go to the taluk level health centers are usually referred to the district hospitals or district teaching hospitals. So by the time these critical patients reach the district headquarters, sometimes it becomes too late. To address that, they are trying to provide ICU-like services at the taluk level using technology. So that is called as tele-ICU hubs. So you have district hospital or teaching hospital which will adopt various taluk level health centers, and using technology they will get connected and provide ICU like emergency services to patients who visit these taluk. So hub and spoke model. So the hub will become the government teaching hospitals or district hospitals, and the spoke will be the taluk level hospitals, and they will provide ICU through using technology. So recently Bengaluru Ballari tele-ICU cluster hub was created at Victoria Hospital. So this is basically a PPP model, State Health Department with an NGO called as E-Governance Foundation. So basically this will help monitor the critically ill patient in rural hospital from experts in the hub hospital. So teaching hospital, district hospitals will provide the teleconsultation to critically ill patients, okay, because by the time they reach the district hospital it may be too late. So that's the idea. Earlier, this is not the first time, other institutions are doing this, like Mysore Medical College is taking care of a Mysore division taluk level hospitals. Similarly, KIMS Hubballi has also been doing this in Hubballi region. Is that okay? So this is tele-ICU hub. From your mains point of view also, when you discuss how it helps in technology, helps in healthcare facilities, etc., it can be used. Is that okay? We'll move on. Okay. Which of the statement is correct with respect to BBMP's new ad policy? It's local, but anyways you can. Any idea? Yes? C. Anybody else? Okay. Allow commercial hoarding. So currently there was a ban on commercial hoarding, okay, but then the courts have ruled in favor of advertisement but regulated. Earlier it was kind of unregulated and it became a nuisance, public nuisance. Therefore BBMP put a ban on public hoardings. So therefore BBMP has come up with a new ad policy to allow commercial hoarding and outdoor advertisements. So they will call for tender if it is a government land and in turn generate revenue. They will fix fee depending upon the size of the road. Allows illuminated board but does not allow for moving films. Is that okay? If moving film is there driving, they will see that and go and hit somewhere. So probably that way. Is that okay? Fine. So this is the BBMP's ad policy. Nothing informative, that you have to remember, but you can appreciate it. Yes. What is the objective of Asha Kirana scheme of Karnataka? I think this you should have done in economic survey. Yes. A. I check up at government. Lock kar diya jaye. You sure? No. B. Door to door. No, not door to door. Okay. Awareness generation, eye donation. Asha Kirana giving some, you are donating your eye. Makes sense, no? Donating your eye, no? Okay. D. Providing free glasses. Yes, that's correct. No. Okay. Answer is door to door eye checkup. Now you will never forget. Yes, door to door eye checkup. Now eye checkup has become so easy. I think they learnt it from what is that, lens cart and all that. They come home, check your eyes and give you a glass and go. So that why not government taking it up? Eye to door eye checkup is Asha Kirana. So yeah, what's the tagline then? This makes it clear. Okay, answer is B. Yeah. So Asha Kirana is what? Free door-to-door eye care checkup. Asha Kirana eye care at doorstep. All individual, no selective and all of that. So it is under the National Program for Control of Blindness and Visual Impairment and National Health Mission. So already 4 districts are implementing this: Haveri, Kalburgi, Chikballapur and Chamarajnagar. In phase 2, that's why it was in news that Chitradurga, Mandya, Raichur and Uttar Karnataka district also is going to implement this particular program. Okay, Ministry of Health only, Department of Health, Asha Kirana under the National Health Mission to go to door health, and then basically they are going to find out if any ailments is there or corrective needs are there, and then they are referred to the PHCs. In the PHCs, they will do, these may be done by the optometricians, there will be just the technicians who will do this basic checkup, and then they will refer them depending upon what kind of intervention is required. So they will be sent to PHCs where they might be given spectacles, etc. So under some schemes, spectacles are also given for free. Then if cataract or such kind of things are seen, even surgeries are done free of cost at various levels. So basically it is for referring. They will check and then they will refer to the healthcare, PHCs and other things. Okay, next. With respect to EV ecosystem, no question, but some data that you can keep in mind is, there was a report by Bureau of Energy Efficiency. That report says that Karnataka has the most number of EV stations, charging stations, okay, in India, out of which 85% is in Bangalore only. From Karnataka, 85% is in Bangalore. So actually Karnataka has actually come up with Karnataka electric vehicle policy. I don't have information about it right now, but you can collect the information. Why? Because there is a new draft that was made for this program, that policy, sorry, Karnataka electric vehicle policy, okay, 2017 to 2022, so 2022 to 23. So 23 to 28, a new policy is there, but it's in a draft stage. Okay, so that is important. Karnataka electric vehicle policy, 23 current affairs, it's there. You can go through it. So with respect to number of EV vehicles, Karnataka stands third. Okay, UP followed by Mumbai, followed by Karnataka followed by UP followed by Maharashtra followed by Karnataka. Is that okay? Clear? This is some data you can just keep in mind, frame the question accordingly. Okay, next. So I think in the previous class I had happened to make this mistake, but over here there is this question, you can answer this now. So recently there was only one Ramsar site, Rangantittu. Now they have added 3 more. So which are the ones which have been declared as Ramsar site? All of the above. Okay, so quickly about this, again very important, you can expect one question from this. Ramsar site, currently there are 4 then, right? In addition to these 3, Rangantittu also was earlier declared as Ramsar site. So Magadi Kere Conservation Reserve, human made wetland. So statement based question also, if at all they can be asked. It's a human made wetland near Gadag, Karnataka, migratory water, known for its famous for migratory waterfall. One such species, Mongolian barhead geese. Then Aganashini estuaries in Kumta Taluk. So it's basically where it meets the sea, Arabian Sea. This wetland is located, and other advantages of wetland and all you might be aware of, right? It's rich in biodiversity and all of that. Quickly write down whatever you want to. Okay. Okay, next question. I mean, it's a political this one, but anyways. Unlikely, but anyways. So committee chaired by H.M. Revanna in Karnataka. Okay, so to determine the performance of the schemes launched by Karnataka government. Okay. So you can just write on H.M. Revanna for implementation of 4 guarantee schemes, 5 guarantee scheme promised during the Congress elections. Okay. Yes. So what is the objective of LEAP program launched recently in Karnataka? What is LEAP program? Anybody? Okay, you'll have to guess then. Yes? Take a guess and then you see if it is right or not. That's all. Okay, LEAP program to improve metro connectivity. Okay. Actually, empowering women and sustainable transport also can make sense if I explain to you. So, low emission access to public transport program, and this is being implemented in Bengaluru by basically a company, rolling stock manufacturer Alstom, BMRCL, and an NGO, World Resource Institution, the Indian branch. Basically here they are going to provide electric auto drivers, drivers by women, driven by women, to improve metro last mile connectivity. Okay, last mile connectivity ke liye electric auto driven by women. So actually if you look at the options, you can also say that it is for sustainable transport. Also you are empowering women by giving them employment. Okay, but the better option would be this, to promote, improve metro connectivity. A pilot project is being done in Bengaluru with respect to this LEAP program, right on low emission access to public transport program. So it's a joint venture or a joint program by a rolling stock company, Alstom manufacturing company, BMRCL, and an NGO, World Resource Institution, India. So electric autos driven by women, last mile connectivity for metros. Okay. All right. Some other points, some other news. Sahaya 2.0, it's a BBMP mobile app to help to help citizens register their grievances on various matters relating to what is there in Bangalore. Okay, various, like they can complain against BBMP, BESCOM, BWSSB, BMTC, BMRCL, BMRDA, BDA, everything. Don't expect response and all, but you can apply for the grievances. Okay. But much more, lot of improvements, like for example BESCOM and all, if something goes wrong, you call, you get an SMS, and then it gets rectified actually. Surprisingly, all these things are now getting much better. See, it requires officers like you tomorrow to bring those changes also, right? Some people who are heading these institutions, organizations, autonomous, so they are able to take good decisions. Some who come there only for other reasons will spoil it and go. But there are a lot of good examples in these organizations also doing very well. Now, especially if you, whatever you talk about BWSSB, when summertime or when there is shortage of water, they are trying to manage it quite efficiently, supplying water to the needy, and all of that is being done. But even public also has to cooperate. If they start building apartments, buying apartments in the lakes, what else can happen? Yeah? Lake view, lake in apartment. I mean, apartment in lake. So in Bangalore, it's not lake view apartment, it is apartment in the lakes, right? So winter monsoon may, what else will happen? Obviously, it will get flooded. So they will have lake view and lake inside, swimming pool, everything will happen, right? Okay, next. Some other things you can just write down. I think a new frog was found in Bengaluru. Okay, then Dr. K.S. Ravindranath. I don't know, these are all some short news. Okay, Dr. K.S. Ravindranath, former Chancellor of Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Health Science, right? So, is been appointed as the in-charge director because the former director decided to contest elections, right? Okay. So, Sri Jayadeva Institute ke liye, I think this you can remember that okay, you just see some other news. Digital detox initiative. Okay, much needed digital detox. UPSC has a tendency to ask frogs and lizards and all of that. So never know, KPSC may model their question on that in case if they do. Okay. So Jayadeva Institute, Dr. K.S. Ravindranath, that's all. Yeah, new species of frog. Okay, we'll move on. Digital detox initiative. Okay, so to prevent addiction from gaming and all, to promote responsible gaming, obviously it's a issue that we need to address. So NIMANS will be involved, Government of Karnataka Health Department, and a forum called as All India Gamers Developers Forum. So they have come up with this initiative, digital detox, so as to promote a more, responsible gaming ecosystem, especially among the youth. Then e-challan traffic fine system. So Karnataka is the first state to come up with this e-challan traffic fine system. 100% paperless. Police, SBI and the State Treasury Department have come up with this e-challan initiative. Then in order to combat cyber crimes, impersonation and fraud, at least majority of us might have already experienced one of these things, impersonation of your social media account or asking your CVV number or whatever. So to avoid that, right, so those calls that comes from Jamnagar, where is that? So all those fake calls. So Truecaller along with the Government of Karnataka have come up with an initiative, memorandum of understanding to combat cybercrime, impersonation and fraud. Okay, is that okay? All of you finished? Detox, e-challan, Truecaller. As such, there's nothing so much factual about it. It's common sense. Truecaller with this one. Okay. Next, Unity Mall. This is to promote. It's important. Write down Unity Mall at Mysore to promote handicrafts, handloom, and GI products. Unity Mall in Mysore. Then Regional Driving Training Center for Women at Bidadi. And recently this Karnataka Legislative Institution, this is important, it was opened, inaugurated at Balbrui Guest House in Bengaluru. So actually this belonged to a British who comes with this name. Balaburui is a British name. It's a place somewhere in UK. Beyond that, there's no much information how that name came into existence, etc. So probably he was missing his home, so he named his house after that, I guess. Okay, so Balaburui. So it was a government guest house. So they wanted to make it a legislative club, and then now they have made it into a Karnataka legislative institution. Okay, so the MLAs research and other things, okay, happens here. Karnataka legislative institution. So like you have a constitutional club in Delhi for the members of parliament. Okay, same on that line, there was a proposal for the MLAs of the state to have a legislative club. Okay, so that was started. There was a demand for that, to convert this guest house into a club. So now it is Karnataka legislative institution. Is that okay? So these are okay. So some more. Last one. Right. So person in news, K.T. Gatti, who recently passed away, novelist, playwright, and poet. You can write down. Another person, Karnataka cricket, belonging to Karnataka Cricket Association, Jacinta Kalyan. She is the first women pitch curator who prepares the pitch for international games for the Karnataka, for the women Premier League. So she was made that. So she's first women pitch curator. Then Mahamastabhisheka Mahotsav was held in Dakshina Kannada. This is the third edition after 2000 and 2012. So these are some other persons or personalities or places that is there in news. So these are some of the important topics that we had to cover from state issues from the month of February. Is that okay? So January and February, all the topics that were in news relating to Karnataka issues has been covered. About 3 to 4 questions you can expect from today's class. Is that okay? So March and April, up to 15th April, 20th April, you might have to remember if the exam doesn't get postponed. If it gets postponed, Sunday Manthan also will continue. Is that okay? So we'll cover the other months also like this. 2023, if we have time, we will cover. If we don't have time, you can read it on your own. Economic survey, we will continue to cover now. Is that okay? I hope it was helpful. Is that okay? So try to get familiarity with these topics. You can watch it again. It will be there in YouTube. Quickly you can watch it. If you have missed out some points, make note of it. Discuss with your student, with your friends quickly. Okay, so that any way the question is asked, you should be able to solve it. By doing this, I am sure all of you have already got familiarity, and whatever question is asked relating to that, I am sure you will be able to mark it, and you'll realize it when you do it in the actual exam. Is that okay, guys? So in the afternoon, we'll continue with the agriculture chapter of Karnataka Economic Survey. Is that okay, guys? I hope it was useful. Be motivated, keep yourself positive. It's okay, whenever the exam is, you have to write that exam, right? So if it gets delayed, for everybody it gets delayed, and everybody also will also improve their performance. Is that okay? So cutoff will obviously increase then, alright? So therefore, don't give up. Be like a horse, race horse. Don't get diverted. Just have that focus in. See, because I'm telling you, you have 40 AC posts. Any other post, DYSP also is there. If I combine all of that, 70 posts. If you take your categories, GM, this, 5 to 10 seats are there. If you get that seat, you will not write exam again. Otherwise, trust me, you will write. Okay, or you would want to write, but for other reasons, you might not write. Either age factor or social pressure, you might not write. So don't be in that situation. Give your best. 5 lakh people will write, 3,000 people to 4,000 people will write the mains, 1,000 people will give the interview, 300 people will get selected, 50 people will, around 70 people will be happy at the end. Is that okay? So be that 70% who will be happy at the end. For that, you have to, you have to give more than 100% of your efforts. If you are giving 100% now, give more. If you are reading 10 hours, give 12 hours. That's what is needed. Otherwise, again when is the notification will be the question that will come into your mind. Please don't be in that situation. Keep positive, be healthy, okay, be happy also. Is that okay? So have lunch and we'll meet after at 2 o'clock for the second part. Okay, thank you guys. Have a good day.